see, this is a really fun dress that's also very easy to make and kind of fits everybody, and it's just made out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of cheap or thrifted satin scarves. So basically I'm finding 10 that I think match up, and I want to be sure that of course they're not like lying right next to a type that's too similar, so I want to have them a little bit different. So I'm basically stitching them together, stitching them together along one end, quickly sewing them together. That means I've got one part ready, and then I'm stitching one more onto it. That's the third one. Then I'm doing the fourth one, and I'm going to end up by having 5 scarves stitched together like that to make one long piece, and then I'm going to do that twice. So that means I've got one front and back for the left side and one front and back for the right side. So 5 scarves makes like a front and back for one side. So I'm going to just start on the other bit now, the first 2, stitching them together, stitching the third one onto it, making sure of course that I'm placing them in the right direction so they're all facing towards the front, and that's the fourth one. And here comes the last one. Yes, so now I've got 5 stitched together too long and 5 stitched together to a long one. So I have to remember to make an opening for my head, of course. So I'm just placing them how I want them to be, and so where they're folded, that will be the shoulder point, and then I will have to leave an opening there in the middle, and then of course stitch them together down on the front and down the back. So you can see here I've just marked where the shoulders are going to be, and then I will have to make sure that there also is an opening for my head. So I'm just going to put some safety pins in to make sure that there is space for my head, and to make sure that the fabric doesn't move too much. And normal pins kind of fall out of this very sheer kind of shiny fabric, so safety pins is a good way because then they are closed. So between the 2 safety pins, that's where my head will go, and then I've got one long line there where those 2 long lines of scarves meet, and that's going to be the front, and one long line that will be the back. So I'm stitching them together like the 2 long lines from where the safety pin is and down towards the bottom, and that will then be the front of my dress, for example. And as you can see, like, even though you would think these scarves are the same size, they're not always exactly the same size, so I try to make them fit as well as I can. And if not, you just have to adjust it, and don't worry about it so much because those extra bits will be hidden on the inside. All the way down to the bottom now it's stitched, and then I'm going to do the same for the other side. So I'm going to find my opening and go down to where I've put that safety pin, and you can always adjust this later to see if you want a smaller or bigger opening, of course. And that's that, and then I'm putting it into the machine again, and then stitching again with the fabric front to front down the other end of those long lines of stitched together scarves. So that means that I'm now kind of got like a scarf poncho that I can put on top of my head, and it's of course open in the sides, but I can just see what it looks like, and I can also adjust if I want the opening to be smaller or bigger. So here I'm just putting it on. I can see how big do I want my arm openings, and do I want to adjust my neck opening a little bit, but also looks cool and quite fun. So I'm just gonna put it into the machine now to do the arm openings. And I kind of measured when I was wearing it how big I want them, and you don't need them very big because it's such a wide, big model. So I'm making like a little arm opening, and then just stitching along down the sides, again with the fabric front to front and down towards the bottom. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. And basically then to hem that arm opening, you can just fold the fabric of the scarves in towards the back, and then just hem it with a normal stitch, kind of just a straight ahead seam there. And I'm again doing it all the way down towards the back or down towards the bottom opening. So now I've got the bottom opening finished, because I've got the sides closed and the front and the back closed. So now I'm just going to hem it. So I'm just folding the fabric up towards the back approximately. So I've got like 1 centimeter of fabric that's up towards the back. And of course, if the scarves aren't the same size, you might need to adjust that. And then just hemming it with a normal seam, and that's also quite quick. You don't have to do a serger seam or anything because the scarves are ready. And I'm doing the same with the neck opening. So I'm folding the fabric in towards the back, like 1 centimeter or so, and stitching it in place all the way down, down the line there. And then when I get to where the 2 lines of scarves are stitched together, I kind of turn 90 degrees and just go over that little bit, turn 90 degrees again, and again stitch all the way up along the opening on the other side. And then when I get again to where the 2 lines of scarves are stitched together, I again just like do a 90-degree turn and just do like 1 centimeter or so on top there, a 90-degree turn again, and then going up and then just making sure that the seam is secure. And then it's done. It's super fun, and it's a good way to use if you have scarves lying around, or if you kind of find some cheap fun ones. And yes, good to go to the beach and good to wear to go out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.